Good morning, students. Take out your social studies book. Lesson number 5, The Great Indian Desert. A desert is a vast stretch of land full of sand. As we go further to west, the northern plains become increasingly dry and finally end in the Great Indian Desert or the Third Desert. In some parts, rocks are also found. The third desert has a common border with Pakistan. The only river in the Indian desert is the Luni, which is a seasonal river. To its east are the Arabian Hills, and to the south is a salt marsh known as Run of Kutch. And in this map, I'll show you the Indian desert of our country. Now here is the Great Indian Desert in Rajasthan. Most of the desert area is sandy with little or no vegetation. Yellow sand dunes or hills of sand stretch away in all directions. These sand dunes change the shape and location every time there is a storm. Desert storms are also called sandstorms. Hot dry winds during the day are very common. During summer, the days are very hot but nights are cool. This is because the dry sand, which has no vegetation, gets easily heated up by the sun, but at night it loses that heat easily. In winter, the days are pleasant and nights are very cold. Most of the desert areas are sandy and there is very little vegetation or no vegetation. Yellow sand dunes or hills of sand stretch with all directions, and the sand dunes change the shape and direction every time when there is a storm. And the desert storms are also called sandstorms. Hot dry winds during the daytime are very common in this place. During summer, the days are very hot and nights are very cold. This is because the dry sand, which has no vegetation, gets easily heated up by the sun, but at night it loses heat easily. In winters, the nights are very pleasant and very cold also. Life in the desert. Due to shortage of water and lack of fertile soil, life in the desert area is very hard. Therefore, there is less population in desert areas than in plains. It is not easy to travel through the desert. The camel is commonly used in desert for transportation. It can move easily and sand across the sand with ease because of its padded feet with long legs. It can go for long without drinking water. When it finds water, it can drink a lot at one time. The camel's hump is a storehouse of fat, so it can go many days without food. Because of these qualities, it is called the sheep of the desert. Though modern roads now link important towns in the third desert and vehicles run on them, camels are still used by majority of people. Now students, I'll show you the desert areas. You can see here in this picture. This is called desert. Now because of lack of water and fertile soil, the life in the desert area is very hard. Therefore, there is very less population in these areas. It is not easy travel through the desert areas from the plain areas. So the camel is used for transportation, and the camel can move across the sand very easily because of its padded feet and long legs, and it go for long hours without drinking water. When the camel gets the water, he or she drinks a lot of water in a time. Now the camel's hump is also called a storehouse of fat. Without this, it can go for many days. And rightly, it is also called the sheep of the desert. Now in modern days, the important towns are linked with the third digit, and nowadays we can see many vehicles which can run through this area. At some places, underground water comes to the surface through a spring. The area around the springs is full of greenery. Some agriculture works is also undertaken in this area, such a green area is called an oasis. The government has built a canal from the river Satluj, Punjab, to the northern part of the desert. In these areas, the desert has become green with crops and vegetables. This canal is called the Rajasthan Canal or Indira Gandhi Canal. Agriculture has spring means a place where water comes through the weather and plants start to grow. The government has built a canal from the river Satluj, Punjab to the northern part of the desert. In these areas, the desert has become green with crops and vegetables. The canal is called the Rajasthan Canal, or we can say Indira Gandhi Canal also. Agriculture has started in these areas getting water from this canal. Jodhpur, Udaipur, Bikaner, and Jaisalmer are important desert areas. Farmers in the desert grow coarse grains, millets such as bajra, corn, barley, gram, pulses, etc. They grow groundnuts and watermelons too. People mostly rear animals, horses and goats. In the green areas, sheep are reared in large numbers. Rajasthan has the largest number of sheep in India, and Bikaner is the biggest wool center in our country. Now, in the desert areas, people grow coarse grains such as barley, gram, pulses, and etc. And they also grow groundnuts and watermelons too. And here, people mostly keep or rear camels, horses, and goats in their houses. In the green areas, we can see the sheep in large numbers, and our country has the largest number of sheep in Rajasthan only, and the Bikaner is the biggest wool center in our country. Smithy is the occupation of some people. The blacksmiths make articles like pots, pans, and tools from iron. Rajasthan is known for beautiful handicrafts. Here, the handicrafts is an important source of livelihood for the people. The people of the desert like to wear colorful clothes. Men wear dhoti, kurta, and colorful long turban. Women put on colorful ghagra, a blouse, and kachali, and an orni or chunri. Women also like to wear heavy jewelry. Smith is the main occupation of Rajasthan, and they make beautiful things like pots, pens, and tools from iron. And Rajasthan is also known for its handicrafts. And in this place, the handicraft is the main source of or important source of livelihood. Here, the people wears colorful clothes. Men used to wear dhoti kurta with colorful long turban, and women used to put ghagra, a blouse, which is also called kachali, and an orni or chunni. And the woman here also likes to wear heavy jewelry also. Houses in the desert have very thick walls, tiny windows, and flat roofs. Tej and Gungar are the two main festivals celebrated by the people of the desert with great zeal. People are very fond of fairs and festivals. Women enjoy swing rides and sing folk songs on this day. In this area of desert, the walls are very thick and it has very tiny windows and flat roofs. And here, two main festivals are celebrated, which is also called Tej or Gungar. And people are very fond of fairs and festivals, and especially women enjoys swing rides and silk pong socks on this day. Dear students, now this lesson is over. Now I am going to give you the homework, and your homework is